Muhammad Ali, one of my great heroes, had a great line in the 70s when he was asked, how many sit-ups do you do? He said, I don't count my sit-ups. I only start counting when it starts hurting. When I feel pain, that's when I start counting, because that's when it really counts. That's what makes you a champion. Jerry, I'm the greatest fighter that ever stepped foot in the ring. Money will be lost that night. This will be the biggest upset in the center of all boxing.
Welcome in, everybody. It's episode 4 of Mike on the Mic. I'm your host, obviously, Mike Reeves. Got my two cardboard doges here, like on our main show, Twist. I feel a little lonely and need my buddies. Thank you for tuning in live on Facebook. Thank you for listening on all the podcast platforms, and as well as RTFSportsNetwork.com. Very exciting show. Very exciting show. Very exciting show. 3 times. We do have a special guest interview to kick it off. So we are just going to fire away and bring him on. Josh.
Hey, Mike. I love the Dozers. I love Brian Dozier. I moved to LA when he got traded here, and I tweeted him to invite him to every show I did for the first year when he was a Dodger. I put him on the guest list at the Laugh Factory 5 times.
Did he ever show?
He never showed. Made me real sad.
You know what? Next, so the bit with him with our main show, again, we have Joshua Florhog here. You can find him on Twitter at Josh F. Comedy. So I come up with a game on Twist, which is our main show, and the 2 other hosts compete. Well, when they can't get it right, point automatically goes to Cardboard Doge. So he's even on Twitter at CBD Doge.
Well, he's going on my guest list now when shows reopen here. CB Doge gets to come to games too.
Nice. Yeah, they might actually show, unlike the real one.
The real Dozier will not show. I will tell you that much.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. What have you been up to kind of during this COVID crisis?
COVID's been weird for me. I actually just got home to LA when everything went down. I happened to be hanging out with Louis Anderson, so I drove him home and stayed there for 3.5 months. Or 2.5 months. The Louis Anderson.
Wow.
The one and only Louis Anderson. I stayed with him and helped him with everything since COVID is very scary. I did all his shopping and stuff and just hung out. We made a sketch, which people seen on NBC on the Feeding America Comedy Festival charity event. So we did that, and then we just had a bunch of fun. Wrote jokes, laughed, watched Ozarks. I think what most people did.
Yeah, great show. So Louis is not just a buddy of yours. He's also
Louis is my uncle. So per family rules, I had to take care of him.
Of course. Was that kind of, was he a reason you wanted to get into comedy a little bit?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I grew up seeing him. I didn't know him very much, though. He's my grandma's brother, so he's my great uncle. And I'm only in my late 20s, so he was well into fame living in LA by the time I was even born.
And you're from Minnesota then, correct?
Yes and no. I'm from Minnesota. My mom moved us to Phoenix when I was 12, and then I moved back to Minneapolis after college.
But you are a Vikings fan.
I am a Minnesota sports fan, unfortunately. It's not like Arizona was any better. I moved there in 2000. They won the 2001 World Series. And then, they never did anything. Their hockey team threatens to leave every week.
Of course.
So I kind of just stuck with Minnesota sports.
Do those ever make your jokes at all then? Are we?
Oh, yeah.
Are we joke to you?
Oh, yeah. It's so fun. I always threaten to jump ship, though, because LA has, LeBron now, and the Dodgers went to the World Series twice. So I go to games. I usually try to go see what Minnesota sports teams are here. So I'll go to Angel Stadium to see the Twins. But, yeah, I haven't jumped ship yet. I want to, but I'm not going to.
Are you guys starting to open up there in LA? Are you going to be able to stop doing Zoom comedy here soon?
I think soon. It started to open, and then the protests started at the same time. So I think probably another month or 2.
Yeah, if it's not one thing, it's the other.
Yeah, it's just it's 2020. What, man? It's going to be that. Then there'll be floods for no reason. That'll be coming next month.
Then Jesus. I mean,
then Jesus will be here. He'll keep restaurants from opening and clubs from opening again. And then probably sharks. There'll be sharks that can walk now.
So when everything does open up, do you ever headline here in Minnesota?
I've performed a bunch in Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any plans to get back out there, so I don't want to be like, oh, I'll be here. But definitely want to make it back out again. I think the last time I was out, I was at Sisyphus, and that was in September.
I have some free tickets to the Rick Bronson Comedy Club there at the MOA.
Ooh, nice. They always have I emceed and middled there for the whole time I lived in Minnesota after I got good enough. So that was my home club. I love that club.
That's kind of where you get your start and then on.
Yeah, they always have such great headliners. I've worked with so many awesome. I worked with Josh Wolf. I worked with Asif Ali. I've worked with so many great people through there.
Awesome. One thing I've always wondered is, not the heckling going towards you, but you doing the heckling. I don't know if that's part of your comedy. Is that straight off the top? If, immediately you get on stage, you see a guy wearing a pink polo, collared, popped up. Is he a target or?
Yeah, not usually. I mean, I'm a very sensitive, timid guy. If you guys have heard my stand up, I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I did once. This is a funny story. I was performing in Milwaukee and there was a couple in like matching Jordan jumpsuits. And I just walked on stage and I just looked down and I was like, what the hell did you do to have to dress exactly the same as your wife, sir? How much trouble can you be in before a divorce to where you're like, you know what? We should wear matching jumpsuits.
Oh, that's great. I was watching you on YouTube earlier and your lisp routine. So you come on and you're like, all right, everybody's going to get wet. And, I was also a cheerleader in high school. My parents had to come into the closet.
I had to go into the closet to my parents. That is so sadly true. I remember because I did cheer all through high school. Once at breakfast, my mom just came straight up to me and she was just like, if you were gay, I would support you, right? I'm just trying to eat Eggos. I'm not supposed to get bullied until I get to school, Mom. She was like, no, I'm just letting you know. It'd be cool.
Oh, we got to cut. Those were his cousins in Milwaukee. We're a live interactive show. So Greg here, they were wearing Jordan.
Greg, I hope they're still together, just matching it up, probably with one of those Facebook pages that are both of theirs.
The worst thing would be is if they're wearing matching Jordan jumpsuits, but then wearing Adidas shoes.
Oh, I would love that if I saw that. I would make them give me their shoes.
Take all that time to do it. And so last one for me, we kind of talked about the real life story with your mom. Is that how most comedy is formed? Just basically making fun of your life?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you don't have any heart behind it, it's not going to be good. It should be real life stuff. You can only make stuff up for so long before. And real life is way funnier than make-believe life. Sure.
Do you ever extend it out a little past the truth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, the story stretches a little bit, but it's all reeled in this really happened.
Well, that's great. Well, wrong one here.
Hey.
So you can find him on Twitter there at Josh F. Comedy. Where else can the viewers and listeners find your stand-up?
Instagram. I'm on TikTok because I want the kids to think I'm cool.
Of course.
I'm on everything. Everything is Jay Floorhog Comedy or Josh F. Comedy. So it's really easy to find me. Josh F. Comedy on every social media platform. Plug me and you'll find me.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and spending.
Thanks for having me, Mike. It's fun.
Yeah, appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Awesome. Well, we appreciate Josh coming on. We as in me and the two cardboard Doges. Josh is pissed at the real one because he keeps dogging him. So let's get in to the show here with a little mic'd up where we make a mockery of the sports world. Now, it is a sad time in America right now. And in wrestling, Rob Gronkowski loses the WWE 24/7 title. Yikes. Drew Brees has since been apologized for his comments regarding he wouldn't be happy if players kneel in protest this season. He clearly doesn't think his life matters after a statement like that. Bills quarterback Jake Fromm apologized for using the phrase elite white people in a text message. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Jake, you just made Drew Brees look like he walks on water. Korean baseball is going to allow all fans back into the stadiums. That's exciting times. The trouble is, nobody wants to go. The NBA is returning to action at Disney World. Training camps will have 5-on-5 scrimmages against Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, and Goofy. And Daisy will be an injury sub. All right, that's all we got for Mic'd Up this week. That's fantastic. Daisy is going to be, that seems a little discriminatory that she's going to, Anyway, let's get into the next one here. My top 5. So Matt Benz, co-host of Twist and host of Benzi's Bit, did his running back fantasy football list this week, and it inspired me. I know a lot of people were watching his show and commenting on how poorly he rated them. So I'm going to give you my top 5, and we'll break down 10 through 6 until Mike on the Mike's top 5. Number 10, Little Man Syndrome, Austin Eckler of the Los Angeles Chargers. Eckler took advantage of Melvin Gordon's holdout last year and had a breakout season. He was very productive as a receiver, almost going for 1,000 yards, 993 yards and 8 touchdowns. Great player to draft in PPR. So I'm a big fan. His size makes me a little hesitant of cracking my top 5. But number 9, Nick Chubb, Cleveland Browns. Chubb was one of the few players on the Browns offense who actually did anything. He also had a breakout season, almost rushing for 1,500 yards on 5 yards a carry and 8 touchdowns. The trouble with him cracking the top 5 this year is Kareem Hunt. Number 8, Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas Raiders. He had a fantastic rookie year, went over 1,000 yards, 1,150 to be exact, and 7 touchdowns in 13 games. He really doesn't have anybody else sitting there. His workload should be even higher. And he's starting to catch the ball a little bit too. He had 20 receptions on 27 targets. Number 7, Green Bay Greg's favorite player of all time, Aaron Jones. Another breakout campaign of 2019 with his first 1,000-yard season as a rusher, in addition to tying for the league lead with 16 rushing touchdowns. He might have cracked the top. Let's be honest. He would have never cracked the He would never be in my top 5. He's a Packer. But they just drafted a second-round running back or bowling ball. So anyway, number 6, Elvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints. Kamara wasn't very productive last year, but he still averaged 4.7 yards per carry and caught 81 passes. He's another PPR guy that's going to do it dually. Expect his total touchdown number to climb back up to double digits, especially on a team like New Orleans. Now here we go. We are cracking my top 5. Number 5, Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. Henry led the league in rushing yards last year, 1,540, and tied the league with Aaron Jones with 16 touchdowns. Dude is just a straight beast. They did draft a third-round running back as well, but he's still the focal point of the offense and continues to receive the red zone looks. Number 4 is my boy, Delvin Cook. He finally placed a little close to a full season, was very effective. I think if he plays a full season, he'll have a total of 2,000 yards and at least 10-plus touchdowns. Number 3, Ezekiel Elliott. Back-to-back seasons of 300-plus carries and 50-plus receptions. This is your safe pick. Every year he comes in 1,500 plus total yards. He's a lock in that number 3 position. Now, this is where we might get some people freaking out. Number 2, run CMC. The Panthers committed to McCaffrey with a huge contract extension in March, and fantasy owners should give him the same faith. He is dependable. He tallied 2,400 yards and 19 total touchdowns. He's not going to get near that again. He's not. He's been durable. I don't think this is his year. So that's why Saquon Barkley, who led me to a championship, rings right up there, gets the number 1 slot. He did miss 3 games, but still managed to tally 1,400 yards and 8 total touchdowns. He's healthy. You got Danny Dimes coming in. It's going to be good. Oh, there we go. Little comment on there. Like I said, we are live. We are an interactive show. There is my top 5 fantasy football running backs for you. Little TV show review time.
Lately, I've been drifting aimlessly. It's gonna be this way.
So when you're not watching Mike on the Mic or Twist, you can tune into Netflix for my new TV show review in New Girl. After going through a rough breakup, awkward and upbeat Jess, who is Zooey Deschanel, moves in with 3 single guys. Ooh. Intelligent, witty Nick is an underachiever who took the bartender off-ramp on his road to success. Schmidt, probably the best dude in the whole show, obsesses over his social standing and looks at Jess as a personal project. And finally, the other roommate, Winston, is a competitive former athlete who, after realizing he is horrible, moves into the loft. So this aired September 20th, 2011, ended in 2018. IMDb score 7.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 94%, and TV.com gave it 7.8 out of 10. Now, I'm in 6 of 7 seasons, like I said, all of which are on Netflix. And this is just a sit back, get your popcorn ready, binge-worthy show. You can just, flip it on for 4 episodes, go do laundry, do whatever you want. I love it when there's a show out there that has 7 seasons. Winnie the Bish is the best. Love the show. Hey, I recognize that guy. He was just on. Thanks, Josh, for that. Winnie the Bish is the best. So like I said, I haven't finished it. My score for that, though, is a 9.2. Once I finish it, it'll probably be a 9.5. It's one of the funniest, like I said, just running through them. 7 seasons. Now, this is going to be good. I'm excited for this, guys. So a couple weeks ago, we did a spotlight edition where I showed you a picture of a cereal that Kellogg's is making. Now, this time, I actually went out and bought it. It's Chips Ahoy limited edition Sour Patch. So we're just going to bust into it. I'm going to give you my review right on the show. So my spotlight is Chips Ahoy Sour Patch Kids. Oh, look at this. Mini ones, too. This is going against my diet. I'm going to leave it for the kids. So there you go. Looks like some little Sour Patches in there. Don't be jealous. You can go buy your own. That's a damn good cookie. I'm going to end up eating the whole damn box. Shit. I knew I shouldn't have done it. Next week on Spotlight, I'll be showing you another picture. Again, that was the Chips Ahoy Sour Patch Kids. we're going to take a little deep dive. Devontae Freeman tells Bucks to talk to him in person as Bruce Arians suggests the price is too high. Wanted to dive into this just a little bit before we wrap up the show, just because everything Tampa Bay is doing right now is set and sail for a Super Bowl. And they did draft a guy, Ronald Jones, who they've had a second-round pick from a couple years ago, who's not proved anything. Devontae Freeman hasn't proved that he can stay healthy at all, but I think he'd be the perfect mix for TB12 in Tampa Bay. He urged the Buccaneers to start negotiations with them. They say they don't have the cap space. He says he wants a lot of money. He was a 1,000-yard rusher in 2015 and 2016 when he became the highest-paid running back in the NFL when he signed a 5-year, $41.25 million extension. Now, I know the shelf life on running backs, isn't as long as it is, but you just got $42 million a few years ago. Now you're sitting at home without a team. This isn't the time where you're like, well, I'm going to need $5 million or I'm not going to play. This is, you take the league minimum, you go play with Tom Brady and Gronk and 2 Golden Gophers and Tyler Johnson and Antoine Winfield, and you just go play, man. You just go play. You want a ring? I hope you don't, but I'm calling Tampa Bay Buccaneers Minnesota 2.0. They are my second team to watch this year. I'm excited for them. So that was our deep dive on Devontae Freeman and the Tampa Bay, yes, that's right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, as always, every week, we're going to end with a little random fact, something that you can just take home to the kids, tell your in-laws, new girlfriend at home. That's what you're going to do. You're going to be like, hey, babe, got this sweet random fact. All right, let's figure it out here. What do Miss Piggy and Yoda have in common? This is not a joke. What do Miss Piggy and Yoda have in common? They were both voiced by the same person, puppeteer Frank Oz. Wow. Well, there you are. That's all I got for you. Till next time.
We're going to go inside, we're going to go outside, inside and outside. We're going to get them on the run, boys. And once we get them on the run, we're going to keep them on the run. And then we're going to go. And we're not going to stop until we get across that goal line. This is Team Day says. It's good. Well, I think we're better than them. They can't lick us. What do you say, man?